What's up, everybody? This is Rio Pesino for The Reboot. Thank you so much for joining us. And on this episode, we take you to the Penny Arcade Expo in Seattle, Washington. Tens of thousands of people were at the event celebrating everything involving games, including tabletop, PC, and console games. I had a chance to go walk the show floor and check out some of the hottest, latest new games that aren't even out yet. But before we check that out, let's go ahead and take you to a segment we'd like to call The Wrap, a wrap-up of gaming news. One of the most anticipated Xbox 360 games, not named Halo 3, has set a release date. BioWare's sci-fi role-playing game Mass Effect will hit store shelves on November 20th. And what we know about the game is that players are the first human beings to step onto the galactic stage, whatever that means, facing a grave threat that may destroy all of civilization again. But actually, I had a chance to take a look at the game at PAX 2007, and I gotta admit, Mass Effect does look pretty cool. In fact, the game has received 2 awards at E3, one for being best role-playing game and another for being the best console game. 1 million Nintendo Wiis. That's how many consoles have sold in the United Kingdom since the console launched in December of last year. That was 38 weeks ago. This according to data monitoring firm ChartTrack. Now this makes the Wii the fastest selling console in UK history. In comparison, the Xbox 360 took 60 weeks before it hit the million console mark, while the PlayStation 2 took 50 weeks. Now imagine this, the current gen console on its last legs, trying to survive in a market dominated by the next-gen consoles. What do? You change the color of the console, of course. Sony actually made an announcement that they are releasing a white version of the PlayStation 2. Along with that console is the game SingStar Pop. Now, this new console, or new version of the console, will be released in November in the US and Canada. SingStar Pop is a new game that includes a number of famous musical artists, including Rihanna, Alicia Keys, my favorite Ashley Simpson, and the All-American Rejects. Now, the game and the white version of the PS2 will cost you $150. And by the way, SingStar Pop will also come out on PlayStation 3. Satellite TV firm DirecTV is jumping on the World of Warcraft bandwagon, joining forces with WoW maker Blizzard to offer a free 11-month subscription to World of Warcraft gamers. Now, if you don't have the game, actually Blizzard will give you the game. So now you can have DirecTV, you can have World of Warcraft, and you never have to leave the house. Remember the N-Gage? Nah, most people don't, but unfortunately I do. The N-Gage was a phone/gaming device created by cell phone maker Nokia. It eventually bombed. The cell phone was too big, it was bulky, looked like a soft taco, and the games practically sucked. But now Nokia is coming back with the N-Gage line, not as a phone, not as a gaming device, but as a software service for a number of Nokia users out there. You could actually download free trial versions of a number of games. You could also download full versions for a price of between $8 to $14. Now, the service is going to be available in November and will include a number of games, including Crash Bandicoot, as well as The Sims 2. And that's the wrap. PAX 2007, also known as the Penny Arcade Expo, which took place in Seattle, Washington. Something like 40,000 people attended this year's event. I was actually one of those people who was lucky enough to attend PAX and check out some of the new games, some of which aren't even out yet, like Need for Speed ProStreet, also Skate and Mass Effect. So let's preview some of the new games.
On Need for Speed ProStreet this year, it's all about competing at the highest level of street racing. So what we're providing you is kind of the ultimate proving ground for you to test your skills against the best street racers across the globe. you're going to be invited to these multidisciplinary showdowns. And what I mean by multidisciplinary is that you have to master 4 different styles of racing. So we've got the Autobahn in Germany, we've got the Shudo Expressway in Japan, we've got the Nevada Desert in the United States. Damage is definitely going to play a factor in this year's game. If you run into a wall at 80 miles per hour, in previous games you'd be able to kind of just bounce off and keep going. Well, this year it's really going to affect your performance. We really want to deliver that realistic racing experience and deliver that really raw, visceral aggression of street racing. Well, what makes Skate different about any other, skateboarding games out there is that we're really trying to capture the realism of skateboarding and the skateboarding culture, the unique control system. That's really what this game is all about. It's called the Flick-It controls. It's not about punching a whole bunch of buttons together, putting some combos there. All your controls are done with the right analog. It's very intuitive. The ollie, once you master that with the Flick-It control system, it's really about tweaking your board and doing your kick flips, your heel flips, your shove-its, your pop shove-its, your grinding and whatnot. Definitely pro skaters in this game. We got Danny Way, Mark Gonzalez, Paul Rodriguez, Rob Dyrdek. The world that they've created for this game is called San Vanalona. It's based on 3 cities, San Francisco, Vancouver, and Barcelona. It's just this massive open world that you can progress your career, or you can just stay in one spot for hours and just keep practicing a bunch of tricks.
We really wanted to get the experience of being on stage with a band and playing together accessible to everybody, and this is what we've done with Rock Band. We've got guitar, bass, drums and vocals all at the same time, online, offline. We've like 40 songs on disc, and we're going to cover the whole spectrum of rock, like right back from the start with The Who. We've got The Who's Next, the downloadable album. We have downloadable content. We're releasing new content every week from major artists. So we're shooting for around 100 songs in the first year. It's actually a really cool system. If one person messes up, the other people can save them and bring them back. They can deploy their rock power by tilting their guitars, or by screaming into the microphone, or doing a fill on the drums, and doing that will save the other person and bring them back into the session.
We're on the trail of the lost treasure of El Dorado, and it's brought us here, to this tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Uncharted is the story of Nathan Drake, who is an illegitimate heir to Sir Francis Drake. And it's basically taking you on a journey of a modern-day treasure hunter looking for a 400-year-old treasure of the lost treasure of El Dorado. It's a very Hollywood-esque storyline, very deep, rich characters, very realistic animation, gunplay, incredibly detailed and realistic environments. So it's basically an action movie brought to life on the PlayStation 3.
This is so not cool!
I would say it's one of the best graphically for the PS3. I think we're really happy to be in company with the games that are coming out this holiday season. There's a lot of great titles. You have Heavenly Sword, you have Ratchet, you have Folklore, you have Warhawk. I think it's great company to be in. I think it's just another great title to add to the arsenal.
Well, the biggest thing we've got coming out, of course, is Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. This game is fantastic. It's really the third part in the trilogy of Samus's battle with the Phazon energy. And even though it's a third part of the trilogy, it's completely new in a lot of ways, because this is the first Metroid game that we have on Wii. I mean, it looks beautiful. Retro has done a fantastic job on the graphics, but what I really like is how there's so much movement involved. It really sets a new standard, for point-and-shoot adventures, because the Wii Remote is so incredibly responsive. After playing this, it's really hard to go back to a mouse and keyboard. It's so responsive.
Godzilla 2000.
This is Godzilla Unleashed. This is for the Wii. It's going to be a 4-player brawler, and it's coming out, I believe, in holiday season, November. A lot of the first-gen games that were coming out, with launch titles, stuff like that, really boasted Wii controls, but ended up being sort of ports of other games that were brought over. Here you truly have this experience where you're playing a fighting game that was, in fact, built for the Wii Remote. You have this amazing ability to combine moves, and it's turning this into a real fighting game. Standard moves, at least 24, 25 moves per character, and then you get into the intricacies of their actual exclusive moves.
Don't kick my ass, right?
I'll do my best.
In the end, David came out victorious, but I have to admit I did go a bit easy on him. Come on now, he does work for the company that created the game. So you had a taste of PAX 2007. We had so much stuff that we're going to go ahead and save that for future episodes. Now, if you want to go ahead and comment on this show, you can right here. And if you want to subscribe to The Reboot, go ahead and search for it on iTunes. Also, if you want to know what my gamer tag is, It's REE10. That's Re10 on Xbox Live. So if you want to play me, find me. And if you want to go and check out the blog, we have a blog set up. It's at www.rebootshow.com. I'm Rio Pesino for The Reboot.